Hello, this is Nioh and today we'll be doing Secrets of the Dead mission. It's one of those missions that's a gauntlet, so enemies will spawn in waves. The first is kind of easy, it's just a couple of small spiders and one big one. However, you still have to be careful, in dispatching them because the least amount of health and resources that you use during this stage, the more you will have later. During the second stage of this mission it gets a little bit crowded, so I decide to snipe one of the umbrellas as soon as possible, just to, decrease the amount of enemies that we have to deal with. Then I try to take out the smaller guys, and I also try to avoid the floating lady as much as possible because she can deal a little bit of damage, plus she can slow you down. As you can see, she has this quick dashes, and she's able to close the distance in a very proficient manner. So you have to be careful. Finally, I managed to land the lightning proc on her, which makes her a little bit slower, and then just quickly finish her off. Now, another wave, so it's a third wave. This one is super tough. As you can see, I missed the first sloth, which is a big bummer. However, we're gonna try to land weakness and dispatch at least one of those guys. If you're lucky over here, your living weapon should be able to kill one and something, out of those two. Maybe even if you're extremely lucky, you can get rid of both of them. They are very dangerous enemies because, they're quite quick. They can cover short and long distance. Plus, they hit quite hard. Now the fourth wave is a lot of fun, as you can see. So I will try to dispatch the wheel and the floating heads as soon as possible, so that there's only Revenant left, and then we can handle him just by himself. As you can see, it took a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, but it is quite doable. Next up is Marobashi. This mission is super hard and comes after 2 masters, I believe. The mission requires you to kill 6 masters, this time in succession, one after the other. What I decide to do for this mission is to go for Odachi and just abuse the long range, high ki and health damage. However, as you can see, you have to be careful even with the first master, because they are quick and they deal a lot of damage. First 2 masters, however, are quite easy in relation to the third one. The old man with the spear, who's coming up after the dual swords guy, yeah, he's painful. Marobashi is a great mission to farm Amrita. As you can see, I'm at 5.5 million points at this stage, and this is just, you know, trying to finish the mission. This is the second time that I'm finishing this mission. I managed to clear it once, however I did it off camera just because I was practicing and grinding Amrita. However, I decided to do it for the second time and record the footage. What you can see over here is third master with the spear, and he is very fast. He has very long range attacks. His hitboxes for the spear are very big, so it is a very challenging fight. The charged thrust attack from Odachi works very good over here, and also in the whole mission I abuse not only this attack but also the roll back and heavy attack. For the fourth master, I'm changing to Kusarigama just because he is slower with the axe, and we can take advantage with Kusarigama being, you know, one of the fastest weapons. Still, this doesn't make the fight easy, however, it is, you know, easier. So my sloth talisman missed, which was a bummer. However, I'm deciding not to use the second one because we will need it for the final master. This fight is also not easy. The Kusarigama Master, he has, mid-range and sweeping attacks. He also does a lot of damage to us. At this point, everything does a lot of damage to us. So I'm trying to keep a certain distance to him and use heavy attacks. I'm trying to break his key guard so that he's open for, for a takedown attack. Now, the last master. I left Sloth and Weakness for him. His Yai attacks are very hard to avoid. I don't think I actually managed to do it, so I decide to block them, and then when Sloth and Weakness are procced on him, I just go with the leading weapon and try to finish him as soon as possible. And that's all 6 masters defeated. Next up is Night Falls again. This is another difficult mission with waves of enemies spawning in. At the beginning I'm trying to get rid of Omio mages as soon as possible because they are buffing and casting spells. And it's not fun to deal with. Then I take care of the big skeleton and I try to avoid the, the one-eyed fellow. I will take him out later. What was important for me at this stage was to buff with Water Talisman as soon as this guy is dead, and then set up in this position so that when the wheel spawns we can take it out with the Reaper. This makes the next part of this mission way easier. And here's the star of the show. This was one of the hardest parts of this mission with those two guys. We just need to be patient and make sure that they don't one-shot us, so just keep our health nice and full. Definitely not like I just did. In this fight we're gonna abuse the long range charge heavy thrust from the Odachi. It works great and makes the fighting against those two guys way easier than it has to be. That's gonna be the roll back and heavy attack combo, which is great for depleting enemies, enemies' ki and guard. After the first attack from the rollback, you can sneak in another heavy attack, so it's 2 hits for 1 basically. Now this is the last wave and it's Omyu Mage and Onryoki. Of course, you know, the order is very easy. Omyu Mage goes down first and then we're gonna focus on Onryoki. Next up is Two in the Shadows, and this mission is a pain. However, it's not the biggest pain in the whole game, but it is very close. Both Okatsu and Hanzo are very fast. They are relentless when they attack, and it's very hard to sneak in any hits on them. So the strategy here is to change our Guardian Spirit to Daibawashi and prepare Moment Talismans. Then we'll try to catch them together with Moment Talisman, and Daibawashi will trip them over, which will make them open for the grapple attack. We want to focus our grapple attacks on Hanzo and have only Okatsu left because she is easier to take down. Next up is the return of
Good.
Yes. Another mission that spawns waves of enemies, so we're gonna take out the smaller skeleton first because he has a ranged weapon. Then very quickly we're gonna bait the second one to go out of the circle where he spawns, and then we'll take him out as soon as possible so that we have only the Revenant with the spear left. Same tactic here, we're gonna use charged thrusts with Otachi, and then roll back and jump heavy attacks. Second wave will spawn 2 guys at first, and once one of them is defeated, it will spawn in another one, so you will have to fight 3 guys for the second wave in total. The same will happen for the third wave. Two guys will spawn in, and when one of them is defeated, a third one will show up and make your day a nightmare. The most difficult part about this mission is that you need as many resources saved as possible for the last fight. So now Oda and Obsidian Samurai will spawn in. I'm placing the trap over here, however they both will avoid it anyway. After I get over the initial panic, I start casting moment talismans again, and I'm trying to trip over both of the guys if possible. So I try to have them, you know, in one place. With the grapple attacks, we're gonna go for Oda first because he is more dangerous. The Obsidian Samurai is easier to take out in, you know, one-on-one. Now we are getting a rhythm going. However, as you saw, it took me a good while to get my composure back and get back into the rhythm of the fight, because, you know, they are difficult enemies and it takes a couple of shots and we're dead. The biggest threat is now defeated, so now we only have the Obsidian Samurai to deal with. He doesn't have much health left, however he still hits like a truck, so we have to be careful. So with that mission done, that's gonna be it for today. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.